It movies, the actual movies, not the series, and they're really good. I wouldn't mind seeing a chapter 3 and a chapter 4. I think it can be done.
Definitely.
We're
Look at all
getting
the money that those films made. I mean,
people. Both of them are in the top 10 highest grossing horror movies of all time.
And you know what? A 3 and a 4. I guess it depends on how you look at it. 3 and a 4 would not be based on a Stephen King book. They would be original movies.
Yeah.
So that either has the potential of people shitting all over it and not liking it, or people going, you know what? It doesn't come from a book. It's an original story. I'll give it a chance.
Yeah.
So you could go either or on that. So
I think it'd be interesting because you could get the older cast from part 2 back for 3. They are a lot older now, so they could have kids. And then you can get their kids involved, almost kind of like what Ghostbusters kind of did, but not. Yeah, I don't think you would go that young. I think you would probably go like teenage adult.
You know, I'm. You know, this might be out of left field, and people might poo-poo on it, but you know, there was 27 years between them as kids and them as adults. I just can't see Pennywise the clown being buried for that long, and honestly, I would break the rules and I'd say, you know what? They thought Pennywise went away from 27 years, but he really didn't. Right. These kids here in Derry have been haunted by this thing, and nobody knew it. And this is the story of it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think that's what they're probably going to do with the Derry television series because, I mean, what else would you do? I mean, if you stick to the rules, you can't do anything unless you just pick up literally 27 years after whatever. But it also depends on if is this, you know, it's probably, it might dive more into the backstory of the original. And, you know, they showed you a little bit about what happened in the summer of 1959 or whatever. Well,
right.
What's the remake? It was 89, right?
Right.
89. This is what happened in the summer of 89, but this is all the shit you didn't get to see. These are the individual, you know, they had more than one experience with this clown, but in the movie they only showed you, you know, this kid had that experience, blah, blah, blah. They come together, they tell each other, holy shit, we got to fight it, but probably more happen or whatever. So, God, there's a lot of potential in it.
I think they might dive into the backstory of Pennywise in the Welcome to Derry series, which unfortunately got pushed back a year. So we're not going to see that until 2025 because of the writer's strike. So I got to thinking, they're calling it the Pearl series, which will be a franchise by next year because they're coming out with the 4th movie, Maximum. I think that's the title of it. So you would have.
What was the 3rd movie?
So you would have Pearl, or is that the? So you have X, you have Pearl.
I think that would be the 3rd movie, right?
Oh, that'd be the 3rd, not the 4th movie. So that would be the 3rd movie.
So it'd be a trilogy. Okay, got you.
Which I'm hate knocking A24, but I love it at the same time. Not knocking A24, but I mean, to me, that's the best thing they got going.
Well, they also have an open story right there because X, she's so old. Pearl, she's so young. There's a lot of shit that happens in the middle of that. They got a lot of things going on. You know, of course, X takes place in seems like modern time. Was it modern time or was it? No, it was the 70s.
No, it was the 70s.
So Pearl takes kind of place in, I guess, in the 40s, 30s, 40s type of era. Right. So you got the 50s, definitely the 60s to play with right there.
Did she have any kids?
Well, if she did, that could be added to the story. You know, maybe the kids fucking knew that she was wacko jacko and fucking left the farmo.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see if they make a 4th one. It's going to be interesting to see where they go with the 3rd one. I also thought it would be kind of cool to see about Us,
Us?
making Us into a franchise. I think that has
Yeah, that'd be
potential.
cool. Yeah, I could see, like, not just that particular family,
Yeah.
but like this happening all over the world underground and nobody knows about it. So you can use
Yeah.
different cast.
Yeah, you can do every type of ethnic group if you wanted to.
Think about it. What's one of the big conspiracies going around that people love talking about is cloning people these
Right.
days.
Yeah.
So it could play off of everything.
It was
Will
like,
it happen? I don't know. I don't know. Jordan Peele's head in the last couple of years, I don't think has been in the right place.
right.
I think he's jumped on a social media train and he's riding it.
Possibly, unfortunately. But I think that Us has a lot of potential there. You've created a universe without creating a universe. You just have to dive headfirst into it. The next one I have on my list is Five Nights at Freddy's. We're getting a trilogy out of this.
Yeah.
But I feel like after diving into the background, the lore, how fucked up this story is, you could get 4-5 movies out of this
I think so too.
series.
I think that people, sometimes people go a little hard on a film because they want everything in a film, especially if it's a Five Nights at Freddy's and they already know the video game. Well, why didn't they put that in it? Why didn't they do this? Why did they da-da? Well, goddamn, maybe they're saving something. You know what I mean?
You gotta save something for part 2 and 3.
Come on. I mean, they just came out with that new animated Ninja Turtles movie, right?
Right.
There was no Shredder in it. People
Right.
complained about it. Like, goddamn, we give it some time. Maybe they want to build up to that because Shredder is the ultimate villain. Do you want him in the first movie? They just fuck him up and now you got nowhere to go? Shut
Right.
the fuck up. Set the fuck down. And if it's a good movie, stop complaining.
I read that when Five Nights at Freddy's comes out on physical media, there's a fucking 4-hour cut of this movie.
Ooh.
4-hour cut of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Some people, first of all, we endorsed the movie. We liked it, but I have heard a lot of people, don't know if they're fans of the games or whatnot. It's just their opinion. A lot of people have praised the film, but a lot of people said they found it boring as fuck.
I liked it.
Well, I mean, I did too.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you what some people have said.
I don't know what a 4-hour cut would be unless it like goes into like it had like the beginning part, like how Five Nights got started, like back when it was opening and everything. I don't know. I just read that there will be a 4-hour cut, and I feel like that is a separate review by itself because that's a whole nother movie missing.
Yeah, that's fucking Justice League level
Yeah.
shit right there.
I think that the new Thanksgiving movie has potential. I know I haven't seen it. We haven't had the pleasure to see it, but it comes out in a couple weeks. I think it has a good concept of becoming a franchise if it's done right.
Yeah, it could be the new slasher craze, which is something that we need. We was talking about that the other night about how, in the past 20 years, there's been some good franchises, which we're talking about today, but specifically our favorites, me and you personally, are slashers, and there really hasn't been a whole lot. There's been some figureheads, such as like, a Jigsaw or whatever, but that's not really slasher films. It's more, the traps or whatever, the Final Destination where death is the killer, the paranormal movies and stuff like that. You really haven't had a Michael, Jason, Freddy, unless it's a fucking reboot of Michael, Jason, and Freddy.
Yeah.
So to create a new slasher for today's time would definitely be beneficial. I mean, because we can look back and we say, okay, Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, blah blah blah. That's the the Universal, and then you get on, and Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, Michael, those are cool, and then Chucky, Leprechaun, Ghostface, blah blah blah, and then you get to the year 2000 on, and you go, what? Like, who can we count? Unless
Annabelle.
it's almost like the 2000s was still Freddy, Jason, Michael, fucking Leatherface, because all it was reboots anyway.
Yeah.
So
Everything got rebooted in the early 2000s.
I mean, it is what it is, but
it's like the monster became the main attraction. Like your devil from Insidious or Redface, whatever, lipstick demon, whatever you want to call him. You have the girl from the Ring. You have the boy from the Grudge. You have Annabelle, the Nun. Like, these are the figureheads of those movies. You don't have a...
I don't know. They all fail.
Main person. But
they all fail in comparison, in my opinion. They're not bad. They're just, It's kind of like, I guess this is what you settle for.
Yeah, well, and that's what you get. But I thought I got a couple more. I thought Barbarian would be interesting, but it wouldn't be probably as good because of how surprising. You might be able to get a part 2 out of it, but that would be pushing it. But
yeah, if you ask my honest opinion, I would rather it be one and done and have that be a standalone.
The next one I know would be a great trilogy at least. Smile.
Yeah, you could do some stuff with Smile. I mean, Smile, again, is one of those films that doesn't necessarily have a figurehead. It's more of a, like, haunting in your head type of deal, type of stuff. I mean, so, yeah, you could do that. I mean, you definitely could do that. I don't see why you couldn't.
Yeah, it has the potential to lead movie to movie to movie because, the way Smile ended with him watching her burn, that means he got infected.
Right.
By watching this hideous
and you can always
act.
It's horror. You can always bring it back. Well, it doesn't make sense. It's horror. Suspend your belief. Yeah. It's a horror movie. Shut up.
But the one we know has the potential the most, is Terrifier.
Yeah, we was talking about that the other night. It has 3 movies so far, so they're only one more away from becoming a franchise.
I mean, if you want to technically All Hallows Eve,
yeah,
and then Terrifier 3, that would be 4.
Yeah, I mean, if you strictly go off of just the Terrifier title, it would just be 3. But a lot of people, may or may not know that Art the Clown was in a trilogy, or not a trilogy, but what am I trying to say?
Like Trick or Treat and Creep Show.
Yeah, it was a film that had several stories in it. God damn it! Why am I forgetting?
If you wouldn't have said it, I would. God damn it! What do you call those things?
I don't know. It's a movie with multiple stories in it, and Art the Clown happens to be the main
anthology.
Anthology, yeah, an anthology film. That's what All Hallows Eve is, and that's what Art the Clown started off. And David Howard Thornton was not the original Art the Clown; it was another guy.
Yeah,
he didn't come in until the very first Terrifier film. And then, which is all about art, and then Terrifier 2, all about art, Terrifier 3, all about art. If you want to technically say that, well, All Hallows Eve doesn't count because it's not all about art, okay, cool, I still count it.
Yeah.
I still count it, though.
My thing is, Art the Clown is one of those characters that checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't talk. He's got the look. He has his weapons, like, the gun, the saw, the bag of instruments he drags along. He has a comedic twist when he needs to be comedic.
Which is hard for a character that doesn't say anything.
Yeah, for a character that says nothing at all. Like, the charisma just, like, the scene in part two where he's just